What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, back because you should be subscribed by now, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. The camera quality is gonna be a little bit different because I just wanted to hop on here really quick and state some things really quick. So I'm recording off of my phone, but I just want to talk about how being healthy has been a struggle for me, especially in the past couple of years. I also haven't, within the last couple of days, I have not been not uploading to YouTube, but I haven't been producing any content. You guys have probably not noticed because I have had some videos go up on YouTube automatically. But other than that, the past like couple of days, since probably Saturday morning, I want to say, I just have not been feeling that great, been feeling well, been having some issues. But I also want to talk about some issues that I've had prior because I know I've mentioned it on the channel. So I'm gonna just get into those really quick. So I want to talk about drinking water. We all know that drinking water is very important. But as I don't know, getting older or whatever, I noticed that I can't drink cold water for real anymore. And if I do drink cold water, it's really later on in the day. I am a person who used to, as soon as I get up in the morning, I had to have a nice cold glass or a bottle of water. And now I find myself not being able to drink cold water, because it makes me so nauseous. Along with drinking cold water, drinking really any water as soon as I get up in the morning. Like, I know there are people that as soon as they get up in the morning, they just grab something to drink. I cannot do that either. I find that it doesn't matter what temperature that water is. Maybe if it's hot, I've never tried boiled water in the morning, but I found that drinking any water as soon as I wake up, whether it's in the morning or as soon as I wake up from a nap, that I cannot have water because it makes me so nauseous, like to the point where I'm like leaned over, like, oh, my stomach, you know? So I know we have to drink water, and I'm supposed to be drinking like 62 ounces of water a day, but I find myself even hard trying to accomplish that just because sometimes drinking water makes me so nauseous. My next point is having a lack of appetite, but not even really much of a lack of appetite, just simply not wanting to eat or having the will to eat. Right now, I'm probably eating once or twice a day, and that's not from me cooking a lot of the times. That's probably from someone else cooking. And it's not that I can't cook. I go in the kitchen, I see what's in the fridge, and I'm like, I don't want to physically chew and digest this food. And I don't know if that has something to do with my mental state or whatever, but even though like I'll be hungry, stomach can be growling, and I'll just be like, well, I don't know what I want to eat, and I'll continue to like lay in my situation. All right, editing me here. Yes, I look like a little boy. Okay, but editing me here, I just wanted to clarify this statement. So when I said like I get hungry, but I don't want to digest food, so I will literally get up and even go make some food, or even maybe go buy some food if I really don't feel like cooking, and I'll take a one bite and instantly be like somehow disgusted. So when I eat my food, I don't eat a lot of it anymore. It's not that I'm unable to physically eat it or get full really fast. I just simply get disgusted with everything that I eat right now, and along with the whole I just don't want to digest the food. I don't know what that is, but I just don't want to eat. I Even now it's 11:32 and I've only had a little bit of water and I haven't had anything to eat. I'm hungry, but I haven't had the urge to get anything to eat, and it just stems from really being disgusted and grossed out by food right now. And I'll continue to like lay in my situation or do something like that. I may have some chips or something like that, or maybe try to drink water to like carve the hunger. But I found myself just really not wanting to eat anything at all, even if I am hungry. And I know that can be very, very, very dangerous. And I know your body gets its energy and fuel from eating. And I've mentioned this before, but ever since kind of I became a diabetic almost, so for some years now, when I get up and I actually go do a hardcore workout, even with some of the mobile yogas that I do. When I get done, I am immediately tired. Like some people work out and they can go on about their day. I work out, if I do like I said, a hard workout, something light, I'll probably be fine. But like a hard workout, I have to take a chill pill, take a seat, and gather myself. Like your body is supposed to hurt, but my body hurts immediately after. I feel like my heartbeat is no longer what's the term? Uh my heartbeat is no longer regulated, and I have to literally sit there, catch my breath. Sometimes I become dizzy, sometimes I just get super hot to the point where I'm just uncomfortable, and sometimes I will literally just come and collapse on the bed if I worked out too hard. And I know that's an issue, and I probably need to go to the doctor for all of this, but it's just like I used to be a cheerleader, you know, I used to do tennis, gymnastics, even in high school and college. I also played tennis. I used to walk back and forth at a period of time when I didn't have a car from my school to my apartment, which wasn't that far, but it was far enough, and be completely fine. So it's just like, where did this exhaustion from working out come from? I've also said this a bunch of times on the channel that I am simply a bad diabetic. I know I am a bad diabetic. I told you guys that I am no longer taking short acting insulin. I'm only doing long insulin. At least I'm doing that every day, because there was a period where I was not checking my sugar. I was not taking insulin. I was just out here walking around. I know for most diabetics that would probably kill them, but this kind of goes hand in hand with me at one point wanting to go get retested to see if I was even a true diabetic or a type 1 diabetic, because the things that I can do, most diabetics can't. Like me walking around with extremely high blood sugars, yes, that might kill me in the long run, but as if right now, like, I can handle it, and that might go hand in hand with that just being overly exhausted. I don't do it now. Obviously, I'm taking better care of my diabetic self by taking that long acting insulin every day. I probably check my sugar probably once a day, but I'm not pricking myself 3 to 5 times a day. Like I just something. This diabetic life was not built for me. Okay, I am not the best diabetic. I cannot teach people about diabetes. I just know I'm doing the best that I can, but being a diabetic, having any condition is very hard. Definitely got to have a routine for it. You need a support system for all of this, and because it can get very hard, very tiring. You can lose motivation for it, which most people actually do, especially when they first become diabetic, because you're not used to sticking yourself that much and having to take insulin every time you eat and all this other stuff, going to doctors, because when you first become a diabetic, you're going to a doctor at least once a month. I go about 3 times a month, which I actually haven't been in a while. My next appointment is in November, so we'll see how that goes and see what my A1C is. I'm going to project that it's probably still in the double digits, but I don't think it's as high as like 16. So I know I'm a bad diabetic, and that is something that I have to work on, but it just gets really, really hard trying to take care of yourself and eat right, and make sure that you're also getting carbs so you don't go too low. Make sure you're eating the right amount of carbs so you're not too high. And the whole process of being diabetic can just be really, really, really draining. And the last thing I want to mention, I talked about how the past couple of days I just feeling really, really in a bad spot. Um, on Saturday, there was just I had no reason to really be sad and down in my doubts. I just really went through a phase where I realized that it's almost time for me to go back to work, and noticing that yes, I've been putting myself through a lot of things like YouTube and things like that, and just trying to create a better life for me, which you can start creating, but everything might not be done in a month, because it's a whole process. It's not like a get rich quick scheme with anything that I've done. But I've just noticed that I am probably gonna have to go back to work, which sucks, because I was talking to my mom one of those days, I want to say actually last night, about how I really feel like it's so unimportant to go back to my job, because like all the things that I've been through, and I know for a fact that I don't make enough to be independent on my own, even as hard as I work. Like, my job is not hard, but it can be mentally taxing and really sometimes physical, actually, because we move a lot of heavy stuff. We do a lot of cleaning that I just simply do not do at home. Like, there's just a lot of stuff, and then the customers we have to deal with. But all of that can be very, very taxing. And I think I just got into a slump because I was like, I've been on this spiritual journey. I've been trying to work on myself, trying to meditate, trying to manifest and wait for things to come into fruition, and waiting for the seeds that I sowed to, finally start sprouting and things like that. And I just Saturday morning, I kind of went down this whole spiral. Like, I was up at 5 a.m. crying. Nobody knows this, but I was up at 5 a.m. trying to cry my quietest so I wouldn't bother anybody. But I was in here sad because I was like, I'm running out of options. I was like, I'm going to be 28 next year, and I'm still like underneath my parents' roof because I physically cannot move out even into an apartment in any area in Georgia, because everything starts at like $1,200 here if you don't want to stay in a hood. And I'm a 5'1", 110-pound female. Like, I cannot be out here just living anywhere, any type of way. So like for me to remotely have a decent apartment, I'm going to be paying $1,200 if I want an apartment, which I didn't even want an apartment for real, but it seemed like the cheaper and easier option than trying to go through the buying process of buying a house, because I went through that before and have failed twice now. But with moving into an apartment in Georgia, you have to make 3 times the rent. And I'm not understanding how people are getting apartments if we all so down bad. But I also commented on a TikTok, and my comment kind of blew up on that TikTok, and a lot of people were saying that they just simply fake their pay stubs. And I don't want to get into any legalities like that, but people are really out here finessing and faking, and I don't know if I have that finessing and faking um element in me. I know element is not the word, but I can't think of another word. But yeah, I went through that on Saturday thinking that like I've missed my purpose again. Just the whole down spiral, like why, like just really like why is the universe treating me this way? Like, why does God not have my back? I went through all of that on Saturday morning, ultimately by myself, which I shouldn't have. Even now, like I kind of tearing up a little bit. But when I really shouldn't have went through that by myself, but I don't know how to express all of that in words, even though I just did. But it feels like it's so much deeper than what it is. And I know everyone has their own time, like their own lane. You're supposed to stay in your own lane. You're not supposed to look at others and put it towards your success. But it is harder when you're like knocking on the door to be 30. And it's just, I don't know. I got so sad because I felt like I was still complacent in a way, even with everything that I've done this month thus far, just being off of work. I just I felt like it wasn't enough progress. Like, I found myself trying to write down skills that I was good at again, and trying to figure out jobs that would pay me well for those skills. I wrote out a whole dream life, and I explained that in a vlog, which I will link up at the top. But I went through like what my dream life looks like, how much it costs, and then I tried to find skill sets that I was good at, and then those jobs that had the annual salary that I needed to be successful. And with that, even looking at those jobs, like every time I looked on Indeed or whatever website that I was looking at, I found myself closing the computer, because it's like, even with the skill set that I have, and I know some of those skills require a lot of work, such as videography, editing, photography, like they're still getting paid under $30,000 a year. Of course, if I make it on my own, I can set those prices and everything else, but that means I have to have that hustle mentality again, which I'm completely burned out of a hustle mentality. Like, I am in a mood where I'm tired, and I'm 27. I shouldn't be tired. Like, I'm trying to figure out how my parents have been working since like 17 years old at these BS jobs and still out here making it. And then I got to realize, like, the price of the economy has gone up, but the increase in pay has not gone up. Like, the retail jobs that we have now may pay the same as the retail jobs back then, but you didn't have to make 3 times the rent. Rent was not $1,200 for a decent area. Even when I moved back home from college back in 2017, like, we were looking at apartments, me and my mom, and I was like, even then I thought it was expensive, but you only had to make 2.3 times the rent, and it wasn't that much. Even looking in Atlanta, like, it just wasn't that much a couple of years ago. And I was talking to my mom yesterday just about how do they expect us to be happy and do our jobs properly if we can't even come home to our own environment, and then get up and do it again the next morning, still tired and whatnot. So, like, I know we need money in this economy, but I have a feeling when I get there on that first day of my job, I'm going to look at my general manager and be like, I gave it a try. I cannot come back to this job, because as we get closer and closer, I just I just feel so defeated. I think that's the word that I've been looking for. Like, I just feel so defeated with everything that's going on with my health and everything like that. Like, I know I've made progress, no matter how small or how big. I know I've made progress. I forced myself to put myself out there again, and that was that. But I'm gonna leave it at that. I last yesterday was probably my last day feeling as bad as I was. Today I'm doing much better as far as my mood goes, but I just wanted to come on here and make this little video. Well, I guess it's not really little because I've been recording for almost 20 minutes now. But I just wanted to make this video because I know I am not the only one going through this. I know I'm not the only one going through this, and I don't want anyone else to think they're the only one going through that either. So that's the whole point of me making this video, for me to like get my feelings out there for one, and then to help you guys know that you're not the only one feeling like this. Without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and get off here and make sure that I'm still being productive for the day. Make sure you guys subscribe, because that will help me get to my goal. We're almost at 400 subscribers, so please, please, please subscribe, like, and comment if you are feeling the same way as well. But be safe out here in this crazy, crazy, crazy expensive world, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.